Good morning. Welcome to Wildflower Garden Tarot. We're going to get right into it today. I'm really excited to do my reading, and I have this different sense of I have this really different sense of the reading today. I feel like we're going to have something different, and I'm excited to do it. And finally, I'm going to get out into my garden. I was out there digging around and planting yesterday. So welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you very much. And to all the people who've liked and whatnot, that is really wonderful. This channel, I never expected it to come to anything, but it seems to be really growing. And I haven't done any, all the things that they say to do to make your channel grow, other than trying to be, or insisting to be, my most authentic self. Because I know when I'm just going to turn this a little bit so that, sorry for the big hand, so that you can see the cards as they pop out. So, I mean, my nails aren't done. Sometimes they have dirt under them from digging in the garden or playing with the horses or whatever. And, oh, there's my sissy, there's my little girl, Courtney. So she might, there, this is my kitty. Yeah, so, I mean, I just try to give an honest reading, and go from there. Anyway, so I got this Goddess Power Oracle deck a few weeks ago, and I just haven't done anything with it. But today, Spirit really said, use it. And so I shuffled it, and it's like, meh. And then I put it away. And then Spirit's like, no, use it. And so I did. And then these two cards popped out. And they're lovely cards. Isn't that beautiful? So this is the Godin Oshun, who represents generosity. And the Great Goddess, Sacred Unity, number 17. So I'm just going to go into the book because these are brand new to me. And the Goddess Ushden encourages you to allow gratitude to permeate everything you do right now. Even the smallest of opportunities and gestures, the very experience of giving and being generous with your heart, time, money, assistance, kindness, and care is going to provide you more value than you can imagine. And Spirit is telling me right now that for a lot of you, this includes mental health. A lot of people are having a hard time getting through being in quarantine and all the fear and stuff on social media. And you know what? Just, I have to say, I'm so glad to be in my garden today and not on Facebook. I was so stupid. I looked on Facebook this morning and saw some information that was just like, ugh, right? So being generous is such a healing act. And so that's what this oracle card is telling you to do. So the alignment message says that sometimes you may fall prey to fears about whether you will get what you need. Don't worry about money or love and begin withholding. You might find yourself being overly restrictive and beginning to hoard. Oh, well, isn't that interesting? Right? Because fear is something that we've been dealing with and watching, with this pandemic, and hoarding. Okay? I'm just going to start again because this is very apropos. Sometimes you may fall prey to fears about whether you will get what you need, so don't worry about money or love and begin withholding. You might find yourself being overly restrictive and being tempted to hoard for that proverbial rainy day. Do you know you cut off generous Oshtun's flow of potential when you allow yourself to be convinced there's not enough? The truth is, when you begin to be miserly with your time, affection, and gifts, you will see little in return as you begin to notice what isn't there. In this moment, the goddess Ushtan wants to offer you this alignment task. You cannot expect the great goddess to be generous with you if you show her you don't trust in the flow of her generosity. Now is the time to do the opposite of what you fear. When you feel there's not enough money, spend it to signal your trust and abundance. If you feel unloved, ask who you can love and where you can show show you care. Even a kind gesture made to a stranger sends the signal that you trust in the generosity of the world. Don't wait to get what you want. Give it away to others, and you will be amazed at how things turn around. The goddess Ocean has only your best interest at heart. Isn't that something? And you know what? I've always believed that. You need to manifest what you want. And you know what, even in this pandemic and in this time, just stay away from social media as much as you can. I've cut out all the crap, on Facebook and stuff, and I only share, happy things or, funny things or human things, gardening things, cooking things. And all this news, it's not helpful. It's not, other than stuff that we know to be facts, right? And to remind ourselves of, human stupidity constantly is not good. So we need to focus. There's every single religion in the world tells us this, what we were just told, right? Every spiritual belief, everything is what you put out into the universe, you will receive. If you are generous, the universe will be generous with you. If you are tight and miserly, the universe will be tight and miserly with you. Okay? So this is you want to have love? Express love. Right, Courtney? You want to have gifts? Be a giver. And I mean, this is within reason. Now let's see what the Great Goddess Sacred Unity card has to say. Courtney, no, she wants to say hi. Yeah, over here, Sissy. Oh, she's a good kitty. She was abandoned, this kitty. But you know what? I think she's a very gifted cat. But she's really taking up a lot of real estate here. She's a very gifted cat, but her ass is taking up a lot of space. Oh, can we do that? There. Okay, so we're getting a good boob shot here from me, but whatever. Okay, 17. You know what? I'm an intuitive healer when I'm not in quarantine, and a lot of times, even though I ground myself really good between all my clients, and they're all wonderful, I absolutely am missing them so much. When I've had a day, a lot of them have been through some really traumatic events. And when I've had a day when I've been working with a lot of people who have had a lot of stuff going on, I lay down. She lays on my chest, and, they say that the power of a cat is incredible. So her wanting to be here like this, she's not usually like this. I'm just going to, without maybe wrecking the camera, sorry. See, there she is. Where is she? There she is. Isn't she precious? Courtney Love. We named her Courtney Love because she's platinum blonde, and my son really loves Nirvana. If somebody wants to tell Courtney Love, that'd be great. So, the Great Goddess, representing sacred unity, It is telling you that now is the time to view your world through a reverent and clear lens of unity and connection. The domain of the Great Goddess, the creatrix of life, and the Great Mother of all. It's time to leave the right, wrong, good, bad, zero-sum game world behind, which is what we were just talking about. Enter the space where you can find the sacred ground for sharing without guile. Work from the desire that everyone benefits. Look at others as if they are also a reflection of yourself. Take a humble yet grounded approach to your life right now. Be accounted for the energy you put out into the world, and be aware of how you influence your surroundings. The great goddess reminds you that you may see yourself differently than others do, but you are all one in her presence. Treat others as you would be treated, and miracles will abound. Unconscious choices and behaviors may be causing a distortion in your world. Difficult feelings are part of the journey of self-discovery, and now is not the time to shy away, especially now because we're in quarantine. In order to survive, you may have been conditioned to suppress what makes you uncomfortable. You may have found yourself in a temporarily awkward place with someone and don't know what your next step should be. Which is really interesting because we've been talking about that in quarantine, couples, families, whatever, we're stuck in quarantine, and that reveals the truth of your situation. Right now, I'm in quarantine with my son. He's not able to go to school, and we've never been happier. Other people are stuck with their spouse or their kids or whatever, and they wish that they could escape, and they're complaining or whatever. That means that that's the truth of your situation, and you really need to make some changes and evaluate that. Always be honest. So yeah, it says you might have found yourself in a temporarily awkward place with someone and don't know what your next step should be. So that has also shown up in the readings where it's like, you know what, you might be stuck with a karmic person. One or both of you are looking at the situation now that you've not been able to run from. You're not able to go to work. You're not able to run the kids to sports or whatever. You are needing to face what's going on. And you need to make some real decisions in this. I mean, this is a time that is very powerful for that. So the oracle cards are not so much today a reflection of what the tarot reading is going to be, but more guidance for you during this time. So I'm just, excuse my big arm again, because I just set this up because I changed my mind on my deck. So like I say, this is Emperor on the bottom. This is the good tarot that I'm going to use. And you know what? Like, being grounded, like, I'm going out to my garden after this, and I'm really excited. Because that's really... And that was the Goddess Power Oracle deck that I was using previously. So, hey, Courtney. Emperor on the bottom. These cards are also beautiful. You know, I think I've gotten both of these decks. Is it the same author? Yeah, it's the same author. Oh, interesting. Okay, Colette Baron Reed. Because I've gotten both of these from Hay House, which I love. I'm a big fan of Louise Hay. You know why, too? Because like me, like you, like so many of us, she's been through stuff. Right? Like, she's not telling you, oh, have peace and love, you know, when she's come from a place where she's never experienced trauma or abuse. Oh, Spirit is just telling me those of us, what? Yeah. Okay. Those of us who have experienced trauma or abuse, just like these oracle cards have suggested, you might want to, like at the end of the reading, go back and go over what came out of these. But even those of us who've been through some really hard times, whether they were karmic lessons or whatever, that hasn't gone to waste. If you are able to be truthful about that with other people, you know, and to share that experience with other people, it's not a waste if you can use that experience and that information as a guide to somebody else. So for example, if you were in an abusive situation and you were a person as usual in an abusive situation that would leave the situation and then go back and leave and go back. And a lot of people would be so critical about you. It's like, well, why don't you just leave then? Only somebody in that situation knows why they don't just leave. Okay? If you are able to finally escape, use that experience to help others. And when you see somebody in that situation, say, you know what? I understand that you're not ready to go right now, but someday you will. This doesn't necessarily mean just because you went back again, it's a tough thing, man. So somebody that's in a bad situation is not going to listen to somebody that has no experience that it mirrors their own. So if you have experience with hard things, use that experience to help other people who are going through hard things. Because people who are going through hard things are not going to be helped. Are not going to be helped, or not going to take seriously people telling them how to survive something that they have no experience in. Okay, so be generous with your healing experience. And out comes the 6 of water. Okay. Wow. Okay, so out comes the 6 of water, which I find very interesting in this deck, because the 6 of water is the 6 of cups. And normally this is a card that's really cute. Like, it's a little boy and a little girl, and they're offering each other, he's offering her a cup or whatever, and it often is a symbol of somebody from the past coming into your life, often a soulmate or a twin flame or whatever. But this card reminds me of Ophelia. This card, Spirit is just telling me that the spirit that you need to deal with from a past life is the younger version of yourself. And letting things go. Okay, so you see her? See that face? That is not a happy face. That is gut-wrenching. So sometimes looking back at ourselves, which is kind of what we've been talking about with these oracle cards. Our situation now in quarantine might be uncomfortable. Right now is what Spirit is saying. So look back. See, her reflection doesn't look like her. Her reflection is a child with hands clasped like a prayer. The child still had hope. The child the child knew how to communicate. Oh, yes, okay. The child knew how to communicate with a higher power. And you've forgotten a lot of things. See those bubbles there? Spirit's like, that's letting stuff go. Doesn't that coincide with what we were told in this oracle card? Five of Arrows, 5 of Swords. So I'm not going to focus today so much on what these are supposed to mean. She's on a tight wire. She's a ballerina on a tight wire. But she's looking very confident. See? You see the wire. Okay? And my left hand is completely gone to sleep again. My view here right now is so peaceful. These cards are so beautiful. My cat, and she's just purring like crazy. 7 of air is on the bottom. Seven of Airs on the bottom, which is often a deception card. I put it back in and shuffle. While I'm shuffling, Spirit said to me, don't deceive yourself, which is also what the Oracle card said. Don't deceive yourself. You've been running and hiding, and now quarantine is forcing you to face the truth. You need to listen to me now. Like this, the Spirit is talking to you. This is the time for you to listen to your Spirit guides, to your higher power, to pray. You know, like, well, I'm not forcing any kind of religion on anybody or, you know, I'm very grateful for the gift of prayer in my life. That being said, because so many times I have felt so out of control that if I thought that I was the only solution, I would have completely freaked out. The comfort of having a higher power is huge. To think that there's something bigger than you to depend upon. And a lot of you right now might be feeling completely gutted and out of your depth, and you're in this relationship and you're like, I've been running from the truth, but it's right here. We have nothing in common. I don't even like this person anymore. Some of you might be in an abusive situation and you don't know how to get out. So you're on a tightrope. A lot of you right now, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, whether you've been through stuff and come out of it, a lot of you might be in a time of, what happened? How did I get here? So just remember this child spirit. What else do we need to know here? Oh. Temptation. That's the devil card. I'm just going to read the book on that one. It's an apple, and at first it looks like it's a bite taken out of it, like proverbial Eve taking a bite out of the apple. But it's not, it's a heart, and it's a gilded heart. And then we have gold here. Temptation. But she looks like she's really resting. Okay, right, all right. I need to be careful to not be attached to outcomes. Okay? So even in your prayers, even in your time of reflection, and it's like, okay, I'm going to release this to the universe, I'm going to release this to my creator, I really don't know what to do. It's very tempting to still be tied to an outcome. Okay? Spirit just says to me, how could you imagine, how arrogant to think that you know what's better for you than what we know. The voice, that was almost angry. 8 of earth and 9 of air. Like, this is kind of a, like, people are going through a hard time. You're working really hard, but, like, I know that even in the book, this deck is like that this is a time of worry and whatnot. You know, waking up in the night, like, okay. But she's about to fly. Spirit just said she's scared to fly. Every bird needs to be knocked out of the tree. Spirit's like, every bird needs to be knocked out of the tree. You're working too hard at the solution. Quit it. Quit it. Quit being attached to the outcome. Quit it. Whether this is work, romance, whatever, quit working so hard for the outcome that you want. Release it and let Spirit take control. This isn't a relationship with a twin flame. This is a relationship with your younger self, with your true self. Okay? You know, we've had this new moon and Venus, and for some reason my chest has been really tight. I looked at this card, which is usually such a hard card to look at, and I'm going to find it here. But instead, I took a really good breath for the first time in days. I'm just going to look this up. Just because, some context for the difference here. This is the 9 of Swords in the traditional deck. But this is the 9 of Swords for you today. Okay, now check her out. Look it. I'm going to... This is the face of releasing to the universe. Okay? Oh, that actually just is really giving me the chills. Now, I told you this was going to be a strange reading. What else? Possible outcomes. This isn't a love reading. This isn't a work reading. This is, what do I need to know today reading. I love that. Because when I don't come to these readings with an intention of what to do today. Because I feel like it's kind of arrogant to tell Spirit what you need to know. A Hermit card keeps coming out, but I mean, we're all in Hermit mode. You need to find your keys to unlock your own doors. Okay? So that you can move on. A lot of air energy, so that you can move on. Notice the seagulls, or the doves, I guess doves. 9 of air, 6 of air. In this book, Air, it says, as you think, so shall you be, which also reflects this Greek goddess energy. In traditional tarot, this suit is called Swords and is the suit where the most conflict, tension, chaos, and destructive energy is represented. But in this tarot, we relate the suit of air to the way we think, the results of that thinking, and where our thoughts could lead us. Therefore, in this deck, the air suit represents the mind, our thoughts, our attitudes, and our subconscious. We are asked to remember that our thoughts are powerful seeds. What seeds will we plant? It's not interesting because I'm going out into the garden today. What seeds will we plant? What thoughts will we rehearse? What perspectives do we take for the highest good of all? If we're intelligent creatures, how best can we use our minds to align with the highest good and the best outcome? Which is the message from this card, right? How can we find value in our suffering as we shift from reactive victimized to responsible healers? Wow. Wow? Isn't that what I was just talking about? Can we find freedom through radical acceptance and the right use of reason and intellect? The answer is yes, if you're willing to allow the suit of air to reveal the deep truths of your mind. Boom. And my hand is completely fucking asleep. I mean, we only have 2, 4, 6, 7 cards. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are air. And 2 of them are, major arcanas. Ace of Earth. Start. There's that fresh breath again. Imagine. What? Spirit is saying, I can do more for you than you can think or imagine. I can do more for you than you think or imagine. Okay. Oh, right. Spirit says, I can do more for you than you can think or imagine. In the traditional deck, she's standing there with a blindfold on and the swords around her. She can't imagine a better life. Spirit told me here, I can do more for you than you can think or imagine. Here I am. Listen to me. I'm here for you. I've always been here for you. The little girl, the child in you, reunite with that child spirit. See the big picture. Believe in miracles. Believe in miracles. Four of Cups on the bottom, which is also a beautiful card, but I don't think I'm going to take it. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Spirit's like, that's it. Aw. The call. I'm going to look this up. Spirit says to me, listen to the call. Listen to the call. Listen to me call. Listen to me call. Yeah. I have everything I need now to move forward with purpose. I'm being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with myself, my higher power, and with others. I'm here for a reason. I'm required to step forward into my true self, expressing that through my actions, I need to trust that my life has a purpose, that I am enough, and that within me is a divine blueprint that has meaning for myself and others. Now, honest to goodness, this is such a beautiful reading. And then the King of Air, and that says to wrap it up. Isn't he lovely? Okay? Believe me. Air, 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 air. Air, 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 air. Do I see how the foundations of the fact of the past affect my present and my future? I work with the universal laws with clear intention. He is the culmination King of Swords is the equivalent, often a litigious person, but also a person in his brain a lot. So you're thinking a lot. Spirit just says, put away what you know, what you think you know. You think you know, but you don't know. Let me show you, okay? I'm just trying to determine, I'm trying to determine if I should pull any more cards. Oh, Spirit says no. Okay. All right, so put out into the world what you want to receive. You'll find healing from being generous. You will find love. Love will come to you from giving love. Even if you're stuck in quarantine, and you're on Facebook and people are saying these awful things, and you're tempted to get into this Facebook battle. Like I was there this morning. It's like, ugh, this isn't who I am. And so it's like, you know what? Maybe we can agree to disagree, or, I hope for you every blessing, and just leave it at that. Like there's nothing to argue. If you're in an argument and finally it's like, you know what? I am going to go outside and look at what's real. Many blessings to you. What more is there to say to that? But for yourself, you're questioning where you're at in your life. You've been working so hard to keep control of everything. And fairly tied to an outcome. Yeah, right. Okay. That's why, you know what, I've been wondering, if I put karmic on my reading in the title, I have more views. And so I've been trying to not do that. And yeah, I mean, sometimes it is what it is, right? But people are looking for me or other readers or something to tell them what they want to hear, what's in alignment with the outcome that they want. And Spirit says, look it. Quit it. You can't even imagine the blessings that are waiting for you that are not that outcome. You can't maybe imagine the curse that outcome would bring to you. Spirit knows the backstory, everything. Do you know, even in my prayers, I'll say at night for God to protect us, to bless us with good people and protect us from bad people, and to protect us from people who might be good but who are not good for us. You need to be able to take a breath, to quit working so hard for an outcome that might not be in your best interest. Take a breath and let Spirit, let your Creator, let God, let God take the wheel. Okay? Because that's where your blessings are. You need to let go of outcome. I guess overall, like, that's the main message. Find this childlike energy. This isn't your soulmate. This isn't your twin flame. This isn't your karma. This isn't any of these, handles that readers give for love readings. This is you. This is reconnecting with you. So I'm going to put this away and I'm going to make brunch for my son, because I'm so grateful for this time that I have with him, because I love him so much and he loves me so much, and quarantine has revealed the reality of that even more. And then I'm going to go outside and stand in my garden. I wish this same for all of you. If you don't have a garden to stand in, if you don't have somebody lovely to be with, find a space to be on your own and to give your spirit, like to give yourself to a higher power to help you. And be very quiet and listen to the answers that come to you. It's a different kind of voice. You know, people listen to people like me because we're intuitives. And maybe we do have a special gift, but we all have a spirit. We just need to listen and try to discern the difference between that and our own anxiety. We understand our anxiety. Anxiety makes us feel worse. Spirit makes us feel better, like, oh, that's the answer. Right? So many blessings on you. If you're watching other YouTube channels, may I suggest gardening channels? Just found a really great one called Roots and Refuge. They're the most adorable family, the most blessed thing in the world. If you're stuck, especially in an apartment, to watch, you know, watch a YouTube channel about something that is so beautiful and real. All right, every blessing.